It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. Let's start with the growth platform because I feel like the other things are going to weave into that. And I'm not letting you guys out of here. I mean, I guess you have an end button on your screen, but other than that, I'm not letting you guys out of here until we check these 3 boxes. So the 90-day law and authorities growth platform. Now, when we were talking earlier, it's focused on law and authorities, but the concepts apply to really any service business out there in a 3-month program of putting it into place. How did you develop it? What are the key components? How are you taking people through it?
Chris managed to distill this into 3 steps, and they're absolutely genius. But really what happened is that we saw that there are just so many marketing companies out there that they own the system and then you're held hostage. And we saw it with our own clients too, right? Like we started with a black box. In that, we owned the accounts, we owned all of the data, we owned everything. And that was really good for us, but it wasn't not that it was a bad deal for our clients. One of our clients grew from 400,000 in annual revenue to, I think he did 3 million cumulatively not too long ago. And it's he definitely won on that deal, but how much more could he have won if he owned all of his own data? So we took our system, the same system that grew that business from 400,000 to 3 million, and we distilled into 3 simple steps: clarify, build, and take off. And Chris, I think you can explain these really, really well. So I'd like to pass it off to you.
Okay, well, I'll start with my warning again. So for clarify, how do I word this? What we're trying to do is very, very clearly define exactly what the company offers and how they offer it, and there's different levels of each service. So there's how to sign up for the service, because a lot of times you go to a website and it's what do I do now? There's a phone number, I guess I'll call and then see. But what we're trying to do is move as much of the sale process into the marketing as possible so that the selling process is as easy as possible. So we're really trying to kind of build an automated sales call into the website. And so to do that, we basically pretend we're the worst client ever, or the worst prospect ever.
Questions that everybody should know, but
we're gonna ask every question under the sun about every service you do, and then we're not going to buy any of them. But
I'll call you back next week after I call everybody else that was on that Google page.
But what we do is we document it in a way that it gets fed to our copywriters perfectly, so that they can turn it into copy that's really easy to consume, and we put it into a really carefully thought out design of a website that delivers that information in a certain sequence. Not partially because it's what people want to know, and it's also partially because we want them to know it before they call us. So right away, the first step in clarify is getting really clear on this, and then the second step is build. What we do is we take all that information and build it into your digital presence. So kind of Aaron touched on it already, is that a lot of companies, ongoing marketing, I've actually seen is largely ongoing marketing setup, where it could be all done in one shot, but it's a huge process. And so instead they do it over years.
Keep tweaking and
yeah.
Leaving job security. Just leaving enough work to do later.
It's true, yeah.
Holding handcuffs.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing, and we did that. We had that problem, and the only way that we've been able to distill this down the way that we have is from having gone through it a bunch of times and doing a bunch of research. This will be our 5th iteration of how we collect this information now, and it's drastically changed the ways that we've done it. We've done 3-hour phone calls where we record it and transcribe it and send that to the copywriters. We've done just send the client a Google Doc and they just try and write it out for us. We've done all sorts of things. Now it's programmatically collected in forms with a lot of like pre-filled information, and you can it's like you can customize it as much as you want, or a lot of it's already pre-written and you can choose between a bunch of different options for all the different services. So clarify, builds it all into the presence, and then takeoff is the last one, where what we do is we teach the business owner all about the assets that they own. So a lot of the time the business owners will take over for I've run the marketing for a $10 million company that had no idea what assets they own. Like the business owner's like, oh yeah, can you check this account for me? I'm pretty sure that we're doing work it was ad roll or something like that. And I check it, and this guy's been paying $200 a month for the service that nobody's touched in 2 years, right? And it's just like, you don't know what's going on here. And that's a $10 million business. You want to believe it's even worse at smaller businesses. So with Takeoff, what we're doing is we're educating them so that they're very aware of the assets that they own and what they need.
Assets, you're not talking about like the mower necessarily.
They're marketing assets. Yeah. So marketing assets, I'm thinking of like their website, their remarketing campaigns on various platforms, the automations that connect them together.
Their lists.
Their list. Yeah, they're like the remarketing list and their audience list.
Hey, I'm a bookkeeper. I hear assets and I'm like, balance sheet, we're talking about lawnmowers and trucks.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking like pictures and videos. Those are assets. Yeah.
But even so, these assets have value too. A website has value.
Oh yeah.
A URL, a domain has value.
And then I kind of think of it as one big asset, because I think a lot of the magic in what we do is how we integrate these different pieces together. And one really big one that combines them all together is the multi-channel attribution tracking that we use with CallRail. It kind of ties everything back. And then we have proprietary database software that we use, or that we've built, that so we can like pull information out of Service Autopilot and then compile it against the our like call tracking database. And then we can see end to end, like somebody clicked on this ad, they visited the website, they forgot about us for 3 weeks, they clicked on this ad, forgot about us again, got this email, called us 6 times, and then bought, and we can track that and see because a lot of companies don't understand the synergistic of like how these assets work together, and you pull one piece out because the tracking shows that it's not doing anything, but they don't have a well-rounded tracking that shows them that it actually is doing something. So so we teach them how this all works and how it all works together, so that they could hire an agency to run it for them, but now they are aware of what the system is and how it works, and they can watch the key metrics and make sure that it's being managed properly, as opposed to what a lot of companies do, where they just hire somebody and then try and forget about it. And then 8 months later, it kind of doesn't work that great. And then eventually they decide to try a new marketing agency. And then what they do is, we've seen it so many times, the company doesn't actually know what assets they own. So they often don't get transferred over very well. So you wind up having like duplicate accounts, and it's crazy. Like some of the hardest things we've had is just getting access to accounts, because the company they don't know what the last marketing company did. So we're ending that forever. Like when you work with us, that's done.
Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one, or check out this one, and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder, go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.